my personal experience and the surprising science behind meditation, visualization, energy healing methods, and more. How belief causes chemical changes in the body. This episode is inspired by the book of Ph.D. David R. Hamilton, Why Woo Woo Works. Aloha, everyone, and welcome to your podcast for joyful serenity. My name is Pia, and I am grateful to be a part of your journey in becoming. I am a firm believer of everything is energy. And this is not only coming from inside of me, but from my experiences. And I don't know if you experienced it too, but I feel like things and people come into my life at the exact time when they should. So everything works out as a major plan that I have no idea of at some point in the situation itself. But looking back, I do understand. So when I traveled to Lisbon in 2017 to the Digital Nomad Conference to meet with 500 other inspiring people that work location independent from all over the world, I was just looking into getting inspired by people that live their life on their terms. And what I experienced there was just incredible. It was my first actual really event where I really felt how meditation can support me in creating my life. So I really understood and I experienced how everything started as energy in my mind. So this was my aha moment of mind over matter. From that experience in 2017, I started my coaching business, Victoria's Vision. So this is actually the moment it was born. Why I tell you this? Because I want to let you know that it starts within you and it is whatever you believe that's going to be true for you. And we all experience and believe different things. And when I, some days ago, received my copy of Why Woo Woo Works from David R. Hamilton, who I met at the Heal Congress 2019 in Stuttgart in Germany, I was so excited because this book is all about the surprising science behind meditation, Reiki, crystals, and other alternative practices. When I heard him speak at this event in 2019, I could not do anything else but just nod my head all the time and also just sit there in awe and take all the amazing studies that he has been working on and also that he had found about the mind and body connection, because it made so much sense to me. And it was the first time that I really heard about scientific proof about what the mind is able to do and how beliefs really do have a huge impact on our bodies and how beliefs change the chemicals in our body. So this is how or why I'm diving deeper into this topic. As you may or may not know, I'm also working as an energy healer. And the method I'm working with is theta healing. Theta healing means theta, the brain wave, where we're working on to get closer and dive deeper into the subconscious and to experience and explore limiting beliefs that hold us from living the life that we truly want. And sometimes those have just to need to be brought into light so they can be solved and other things can come instead. So having a book right here with all of the amazing science behind why beliefs have such an impact on our body and on our lives makes me so happy. So this is really a huge common recommendation. I will put it in the show notes too. So make sure that you get your copy. I don't get any money for it. I'm just overly excited to share my experiences and also what I've read so far. I'm not through the whole book yet, but even the first pages have made me so excited that I am sharing my experiences with you today. So one of the things that I've experienced when I have been talking about energy healing, is either people are receptive to it and they're curious and interested, or on the other hand, they're like, oh, this is woo-woo, this is just bullshit, this is just esoteric stuff and it just doesn't make sense. So there's really just two sides. So either you're supportive and you're receptive, or you're not. And from my own work that I've been doing, I want to share a little of my experiences with this and also ask you to just reflect on your own life and experiences and the healing power of things that might not be the way that you know from Western culture, Western medicine. For example, just to make a little entrance here and make it a little bit more easier to access. Let's talk about the healing power of music. I am pretty sure that you have a song or two or three or 10 or hundreds that bring you in a different state, emotional state. And from this state, you will act. So the power of music is a power of frequency. And we can bring ourselves into different states, if it's focus, if it's sadness, if it's happiness, excitement, motivation, by just listening to this music. We are changing our bodies and how they respond. Same for color. How do you feel when you're sitting at the sea or at a lake? It calms you, right? This is what the color blue does for us. And this is also not woo-woo, but this has been scientifically proven and studied for a long time. Same with the forest. Why do we go into nature besides reconnecting with what we're all a part of? It's the green color. It also has soothing, but especially healing power. Green is the color connected to healing. I'm sure we all experienced these things. Let's talk about belief and how perception matters. Have you ever heard about the term placebo or nocebo? It comes from the Latin, and placebo means I shall please, and nocebo means I shall harm. So as a placebo, you might have heard about it. So maybe it is taking a pill that has no ingredients that actually would make you cure from anything, like medically. But if you're told that this will help you, there's a pretty huge chance, if you believe this, that it will happen. And I want to show something with you from the book right here because I just think it is amazing. Belief alters biology. In fact, and I'm quoting from the book here, there's no question that belief causes chemical changes in the brain, and these changes are dependent on what a person believes. In the USA, scientists at the University of California at San Francisco showed that endogenous opioids, the brain's own morphine, were responsible for the pain-killing effects of placebo used during dental surgery. But crucially, the endogenous opioids are produced in response to a person's belief or expectation that the pain will go away. If a patient believes that a pill, if it's a placebo, will cause pain, the belief blocks these natural opioids in the brain, essentially elevating the pain. So just the belief that a pill, if it's a placebo, will help us relax, will bring about a calming effect. Yet, if we believe that it's a stimulant, we'll feel agitated and our heart rate and blood pressure will rise, even though in both cases, the pill is a dummy. This is such a huge thing, and I really want you to take this in. It all starts with you believing, and I'm pretty sure that you've been there. If you heard a doctor say, it will all work out fine, you'll be good, we're on a good way, you've been optimistic, and this supports your healing process. It's the same if somebody tells you, oh, it doesn't look good, or I don't know if this will help. It's so huge, and there's so much more to learn about it, and I'm happy to share something else with you, especially about this placebo effect. When a group of athletes were given substances that they believed would increase their strength and endurance, they did indeed gain strength and endurance. But the substances were placebos. Perhaps many athletes just need a pep talk. And also, another thing, have you experienced this before? And you've seen it everywhere. Why do sports teams have these pep talks before? Getting into the feeling and creating this experience of how they want this game or how you want your performance to be. This is also something that I have experienced and that what I create. So the power of visualization is just such a powerful tool that I also love and use a lot. So before I share another great story with you about the power of visualization, my own journey with visualizing started way before I discovered meditation, or I even knew what that meant. So before I even knew I was meditating, I did that. I closed my eyes and I would imagine how the event that is going to happen, when or wherever, if it's a test, if it's an event where I'm on stage performing, if it's an instructor training, and I do it till that day, I would go through the whole process in my head. I would imagine how it feels like delivering, for example, in trainings, delivering the training content with ease and confidence and competence. How it feels, how it will feel like for myself and for everybody in the room. How will the energy be like that I will create with the people in the room? I will be on time. I will be energetic, everything. And I really visualized myself and all the people in the room for the trainings. And I have been really, really successful and very happy about how I lead my trainings. And I also do this before, as a preparation, before I teach classes. So I'm closing my eyes and just imagining how this class will feel like, look like, what I will experience, how they will experience it. And this is what makes me so good at what I do. I'm really preparing myself visually. And there's a great study that I would like to share with you. It's also from the book. So, one of David Hamilton's favorite scientific studies is known as the piano study. In 1995, Alvaro Pascual-Leone, a professor of neurology at Harvard Medical School in the USA, asked a group of volunteers to play a sequence of 5 notes on a piano every day for 5 days. Each session involved playing notes for 2 hours, 1 note with each finger of the hand, moving up and down a scale of 5 notes. While the volunteers did this, a separate group did the same thing, only without a piano. They closed their eyes and imagined imagined that they were playing the 5 notes in this way. This is called kinesthetic imagery. And it's where we recreate movement by vividly imagining how it feels to move. Each volunteer had a daily brain scan, and at the end of the 5 days, those who had played the notes on the piano had considerable changes in the brain region connected to their finger muscles. However, and this is the great thing, the same was true of the volunteers who had imagined playing the notes. In fact, on comparing the scans, it wasn't possible. It was not possible to tell whether a scan came from a person who had played the notes with their fingers or with their mind. How awesome is that? I could go on and on with this topic, and I can't wait to dive deeper into this gem of a book. So if you haven't read it yet, and if you're interested in how energy works and how beliefs really change the chemicals in our body, then please, please, please get this book and just experience it yourself. And I'm pretty sure that you will find things in your life that you have experienced too that will help you with the support of these scientific studies to just believe your beliefs and how powerful they are. I personally also believe that just if you're just not knowing things, you tend to disrespect them because you're just not an expert, and you don't really feel secure on this topic. So this is why you're not taking it seriously. But just imagine this. If you're coming into a dark room, you open the door and it's pitch black. You might say in the first place, this is a dark room and there's nothing inside here. I can't hear anything. I can't see anything. But then you step into the room and then you start to experience. You start to walk and hit a desk. Okay, so here's the desk. I haven't seen it before. I thought the room was just black. No, it's not. And whatever you experience and whatever your knowledge you gain, you can't unknow what you've experienced. So whether you're new to this or whether you have experiences in healing methods and the power of beliefs, I just want to invite you to stay open to whatever room is showing up. And before judging and just saying, no, this doesn't work, maybe get yourself into a state of curiousness. What is this? That's interesting. How does it work? And it all starts with you and what you believe. Other authors and also amazing people I want to recommend you at the end of this episode, because I feel like this is really a great opportunity to just open minds and hearts for healing and for energy and the mind-body connection, how powerful it is. So I can really recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's also really an expert on the mind-body connection, neurology, and he brings spirituality and science together like nearly nobody else I know. So Dr. Joe Dispenza is a huge recommendation. His books, his meditations, his retreats. I've seen him at an event talking to, and it was just mind-blowing and incredible. Also, Anita Moyani. She's also a very inspiring woman whom I met at this HEAL Congress. With this being said, the HEAL documentary you can find on Netflix is also a great way to start and dive deeper into this journey. And you will see Dr. Hamilton there too. Dr. Michael Beckwith is also somebody who has really inspired me on this journey. All he writes, his talks, find podcasts about these people and just listen to what they have to say and then feel what this makes and creates inside of you and how it resonates with you. And also, of course, Eckhart Tolle. You will also find a lot of German input from him. He wrote incredible books, The Power of Now and many more, New Earth. And yeah, you will find him on operas, podcasts, and everywhere. So I will put those names into the show notes for you. You can look them up if you like. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Enjoy the book if you haven't gotten it already. Please, please do yourself a favor. And yes, stay in tune with yourself and with all that is. And be very careful with your beliefs. Be very cautious, be aware. And then let the magic unfold.